Good day. You're welcome to another edition of Import-Export Platform, Facebook Live from 3T Impest Trade Academy. And my name is Dele Ayemibo. This is a program that indicates various areas of international and also provides to their trade challenges in Nigeria. Our main studio is
Caleb Afuagwe.
This program has three very important segments. Number one is trade news, in which we tell you about the news and happening around the world of trade. Number two is trade program, that helps us to educate you on the program we have and another program happening as far as trade is concerned in Nigeria. And lastly, we have the trade education, in which we're going to be discussing, and we'll be doing this for a while now, what we call the African Market Intelligence, or AFCFT Market Intelligence. So we'll go back to the news now. What do we have in the news today?
In the news today, we have from Premium Times, Nigeria mulls banning importation of mull items. Also from Nairametrics, we have Nigerian foreign trade hits 9.18 trillion in quarter 3 as a non-oil export rose by 374.5%. Then from this day, federal government moves to end 800 billion annual paper importation. Then from Punch, we have concerns over annual importation of 400,000 metric tons of sugar into Nigeria. Then from the Tribune, flour mills, 64 billion investment can help end importation of sugar. And finally from Punch, we have Nigeria spent 509.8 billion naira on importation of used vehicles in 9 months.
All right. Remember, this program is on our YouTube channel live and also on our Facebook page. Please remember to visit our YouTube channel, it's 3T Impest TV, and our Facebook page is facebook.com/3T Impest Trade Academy. Kindly like the video, share the video, and drop your comment. All right, let's take the news content.
This is from Premium Times. Nigeria mulls banning importation of more items. The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Sabo Nanono, says the federal government is considering banning the importation of more items being produced or with the potential of being produced in Nigeria. Any commodity Nigeria has the potential of producing or we are currently producing will be banned from importation. This is to preserve the country's foreign exchange and ensure national development, he said. Nigeria has put strong exchange restriction on the importation of many food items, including rice and poultry. The government has also shut land borders to stop the land importation of such items, as well as checking smuggling. In an interview with the news agency of Nigeria, Mr. Nanono said the closure of Nigerian border does not in any way breach the free trade agreement in the West Africa sub-region.
All right. The idea of trying to ban importation of more items, for me, makes a lot of sense. It's high time Nigeria wake up to the reality of the fact that we can't just be importing everything. We can only grow and be better in production when we learn to produce. But if we just allow everything to come into Nigeria freely, what we basically will be doing is to hinder ourselves from growing. So I think it's a brilliant idea of what the government is looking at. It's very important that we really produce what we consume and consume what we produce.
My concern with this is, why is it that it has been banned now? Why not earlier in the
No, I mean, for me, it's better late than never. Remember the ban that we have had so far. Now, the ban is even talking about, I'm looking at, CBN ban, but CBN ban is not real ban. CBN ban is a technical ban, in my opinion, in the sense that I can still bring it in, only that CBN will not give me for it, and that restricts how much can come in. But if it is the minister that is talking now, I'm assuming he's using his power as a minister to be able to ban. What I'm not sure of is Minister of Agri, he will have to talk to Minister of Finance. He has to talk to Ahmed Zainab to be able to hear what he has to say. If Zainab will not say that, look, that thing is bringing up a lot of money, or we can't ban it. All right, let's move on to the next news.
Okay, from the next news, that's from Nairametrics. Nigeria's foreign trade hit 9.18 trillion naira in quarter 3 as non-oil exports rose by 374.5%. The Nigeria total foreign trade, that's the value of export and import, rose to 9.18 trillion in the third quarter of 2019, up from 8.60 trillion recorded in the previous quarter. According to the latest foreign trade report released by the National Bureau of Statistics, the total foreign trade increased by 6.67% within the quarter, a rise of 582.3 billion naira. Nigeria's value of export rose significantly more than imports. According to the foreign trade report, export components stood at 5.28 trillion, at 15.02% increase when compared to 4.59 trillion in quarter 2 of 2019. On the other hand, Nigeria's total import in quarter 3 was valued at 3.89 trillion, a 2.70% drop against 4.19 trillion in quarter 2 of 2019. According to MBS report, the increase in export coupled with the decrease in import led to a positive trade balance of 1.38 trillion naira during the period under review. Trade balance rose by 135.3% when compared to 590.4 billion recorded in quarter 2.
When I see the way these people record this, I understand what Naira Messi is trying to do, but what interests me is the meat of the data. For that data, I was excited in the third quarter. I've always been depressed, second, third, fourth quarter, and excited in quarter 1, at least in the last 2 years. But this time around, I was excited in the third quarter. And why? There was an increase in the non-oil export sector in Nigeria, up to 20%. You need to understand why I'm excited. Last year, the total non-oil export from Nigeria was 6.2%. The highest we reached was about 10-12% non-oil export. But in this particular season, this quarter under review, Nigeria exported non-oil export of 20%. Now, what makes it interesting for me is this. One of the major items of export that drew my attention, constituting almost 15% of non-oil of the total export and a good chunk of non-oil in the manufacturing sector, is called cable sheet of iron and steel. Cable steel of iron and steel. Now, what makes this interesting to me is that, do you know that this particular product was being shipped to one country in West Africa called Ghana? Now, I'm asking myself, why is Ghana buying a lot of this product like this? Different things are coming to my mind. First thing comes to my mind. Either Ghana is doing something now that required the usage of a lot of iron and steel and metals, and they've been able to find a good quality and pricing from Nigeria, West Africa, and they are buying it, or because the export is shipping under the ETLS, and that's competitive and cheaper and of good quality. Now, does it mean they've not been doing it before? I'm also thinking that what would have happened is this. Remember, there is border closure. It's possible that this product has always been shipped out on land with very minimal declaration. Now, the implication of that is this: because it's been shipped out with minimal declaration, now two things have happened that will compel every exporter, either they like it or not, to declare. Number one, they can't ship by road again, so the chance of shipping without documentation is cut off. Before now, they can ship by sea without documentation, but now with the automation of the NXP, if you must ship by sea, you must have NXP. So I'm beginning to think that we might begin to see the right data in terms of what Nigeria truly is exporting to different parts of the world. Because now we can see that the non-oil export from Nigeria is hitting 20%. That for me is cause for celebration. However, until I see what happened in January, February next year, when we have the last quarter of this year, and we can total it together, and we see a consistency in the non-oil export, it won't be uhuru yet. But so far, I think sincerely, it makes sense. By the way, Ghana, by this statistic, emerged the largest trading partner of Nigeria, more than all the other countries we're exporting oil to. Ghana 18% of total export. Sorry, 70% of total export. India 14.5% of total export in that quarter. Netherlands 9.82% of total export. Spain 8.6%. US 6.2%. All these other people, it was because of oil. That's why we could do that much. But we are now doing a lot with Ghana on manufactured goods. Kudos to Nigeria. But let me use my kudos like this. It's like half. When at the end of the year we'll see it if they increase.
This is from this day. Federal government moves to end 800 billion naira annual paper importation. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Mr. Adibayo, has said the federal government will resuscitate the national Nigeria paper industry as part of its strategy for economic diversification. He said the paper industry plays a crucial role in the economy as demonstrated in all aspects of human endeavor, ranging from education, agriculture, banking, health sector, among others. Speaking at the inauguration of the committee for the resuscitation of the Nigeria paper industry, the minister noted that the industry serves as an indicator for growth and development of any economy in the world. He added that a vibrant paper industry remains a key component of accessing the self-sufficiency status of any economy. Adebayo stressed that the paper industry was particularly critical to the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari as it is. Represents one of the litmus tests of our resolve to correct some of the wrong which have been done to the Nigerian economy.
Now, we have wood in Nigeria, which is a major raw materials or natural resources required to be able to produce paper. But we do a lot of paper importation into Nigeria. Sometimes when government takes some decisions, it's exciting to hear this because of the volume of paper being imported. I'm just hoping that the former governor of the state, this is Niyi Adebayo now, will be able to follow this through and be able to do something serious in this regard. I'm very glad that this is being done. I'm so excited that he's even considering this in the first place and then setting up a committee to get that done. So I'm hoping the committee will not just be meeting for the sake of meeting, just the way some other people have done in the past, but they will come up with a recommendation that the president and the minister are going to implement eventually to ensure that we now have a vibrant paper industry that will significantly reduce the very wrong, like he put it in the latter part, the wrong in our economy of importing an item that we produce raw material and exporting the raw material. Because a lot of people are actually exporting a lot of wood to those countries. All right, let's move on to the next one.
This is from the Punch. Concerns rise over the annual importation of 700,000 metric tons of sugar into Nigeria. The federal government has raised concerns over the importation of about 700,000 metric tons of sugar into the country despite the abundance of resource locally. The Minister for Trade and Investment, Niyi Adebayo, who was on a facility tour to the Flour Mills Nigeria PLC in Mokwa, Niger State, stressed that the government's readiness to support the private sector in ensuring Nigeria achieved self-sufficiency in sugar production. The move comes against the backdrop of the implementation of the Nigeria Sugar Master Plan, aimed at attracting over $1 billion annually in local and foreign direct investment and creating an estimated 107,000 jobs over the first 10-year period. The minister said efforts by the private sector to boost sugar production would go a long way in reducing the level of unemployment. Nigeria is working towards being self-sufficient in sugar. We have been able to do it in cement, and we are trying to do it in sugar.
And I think we can actually achieve it and do it in sugar. I strongly believe that we can actually achieve it and do it in sugar, just like I said, like we have done it for cement. So it's a good one. I'm just looking at the trend of all that the minister is talking about. I think the next one also is on sugar, so we can jump the next one and move on to the one on vehicle importation.
Yeah, this is from Punch. Nigerians spend 509.8 billion naira on imported used vehicles in 9 months. Within the 9-month period covering January to September this year, Nigerians spent 509.8 billion naira importing used vehicles into the country. The figure was arrived based on an analysis of the foreign trade in goods statistics obtained from the National Bureau of Statistics. The cars were imported into Nigeria from the United States and some European countries such as Italy, Belgium, Germany, and Canada. A further analysis of the trade statistics showed that in the first quarter of this year, Nigerians imported used cars worth 148.28 billion naira. A breakdown of the 148.28 billion shows that the used vehicles worth 90.8 billion were imported from the US.
I'm just that how much US is making from Nigeria for importation of used cars, and US and Canada in particular, for importation of used cars, because a lot of Nigeria in those axes. Now, just the way we are also thinking of doing it in sugar, we are thinking of doing it in paper. Innocent has led the way in doing it in cars. What I think the government must do is, what can we do ourselves to ensure that we are able to attract companies that will bring into Nigeria, that will produce in Nigeria, because some tokumbo are as high as 2.53 million, 4 million naira.
And
there are new, to be able to get new cars that will be as cheap.
What of the Pojo plant in Kaduna?
And I'm talking about being cheap. They are not very cheap. I'm talking about being cheap. Being able to achieve that level of low, because that was what Kia, when they came into Nigeria, and Elantra or Hyundai, that's what things they did that made people to buy. I remember the people would queue up, place order because they were cheaper, and people were looking at this a new car. If I buy Tokubo, just a little difference between them. Yeah. So people are forced to then go and buy new cars. So if we have new car being produced locally by not necessarily a very recognized brand, but a good car that people can testify to after using it for a while, then I'm sure we'll be able to arrive at that destination. Let's move on to trade program. What are the program we have for the month of January?
For the month of January, we have 2 programs. The first is the Export Business Clinic, which we will be holding on. We have two sessions. We have the weekend, we have the weekday. The weekend is on the 18th and 25th of January. And for the weekday, we have the 21st and 22nd of January 2020. And some of the benefit of this training program will be you have access to the AFED program development initiative, that's the Africa Export Development Initiative for the UK and for the US market. You also have access to export mentoring program, then free advisory services and export book, then also an export license for all participants. Then also you have full advantage. You're able to know how you're going to take full advantage of the Asian and the European market. Also, you know how to get full advantage, full value on AGOA, that's the American
Africa Growth Opportunity Act.
Pardon me, Africa Growth Opportunity Act. Then also you'll be shown product ideas on how you're going to be able to package your product effectively for exports.
Into the
export market, and also you'll be shown the different payment methods and how you can price your product effectively. If you want to become you want to join us in this program, just simply call the number scrolling under your screen
right now. All right, so we also have the one on import, intensive training on import trade process, letter of credit and bill for collection. This import training program is a program designed to be able to help you demystify the mystery that people feel is within trade transaction in Nigeria, especially on the import side. So you'll be able to understand the sunk cap and product certificate, reduction of demurrage to zero, delay. You'll be able to also reduce delay in your transaction and understand cheaper source of generating foreign exchange, and a lot of other benefits you are going to enjoy from the African continent. From the intensive training on import trade process. Before I round up this session, I would like to talk about from export novice to export legend. From export novice to export legend. from export lobby to export legend is a program designed to help everybody coming newly into export business to be able to find their feet and be able to own their own product and be able to sell into the US market. And be able to sell into the US market. This is a program that is 12 months in length and very rigorous with exams and tests and helping you to develop your own product to be able to get into that US market and a number of other markets around the world, especially in Europe. If you are interested in this program, remember the number is showing right there on your screen and we'll be able to get across to you. We'll be moving on to the third part of this program now, and that's where we have the AFCFTA Market Intelligence. AFCFTA Market Intelligence. Today we are looking at corn. Now remember, two issues here. Nigeria does not allow export of corn. Nigeria does not allow export of corn. I'm hoping that we might be able to begin to probably consider it for export in order to take advantage of the AFCFTA. So that's why we are looking at it. Even though Nigeria does not allow it for export. But let's look at it. Who are those that are importing into Africa? What's the volume first? Can you imagine?
Okay, globally, 92.3% of corn was shipped globally. And the top 5 importers of corn in the world are US with 38.1%, Argentina 12.5%, Brazil 12.1%, Ukraine 10.3%, and France 5%. And US is actually taking a chunk of $12.1 billion.
What are we looking at? Let's look at the one for Africa.
Then for Africa, the top exporters of corn in Africa
importers first. Let's look at the importers.
Importers of corn in Africa is Egypt.
What's the total? What's the total in Africa? 3.79 billion.
Yes.
That's interesting to me because I'm asking myself, Nigeria does not want to allow export of corn. Africans are importing corn 3.79 billion, and Nigeria is part of the importer. Let's take the list.
Yeah, Egypt 1.48 billion, Algeria 644.3 million. That's all in dollars. Morocco $416.9 million. Kenya $348.68 million, and Nigeria $181.92 million.
So Nigeria itself is importing corn, and I'm saying that with the level of corn import in Africa, there are few products in Africa that are imported in billions of dollars. Africa is importing $3.8 billion of corn. So my take is,
and those corns we produce them here.
My take is, since we produce corn, the government must take a second look at the corn production in Nigeria. Can we begin to increase the level of production of corn, number one? Not just increase the level of production of corn and begin to consider it for export and remove the ban we currently have on export. For me, that ban really is not making sense to me again. Under AFCFTA, we are having a huge opportunity to be able to export corn. Now, who are the major exporters of corn in Africa?
The major exporters of corn in Africa is South Africa with $362 million, Zambia with $96.3 million, Uganda $73.4 million, Ethiopia $11.4 million, and Tanzania $9.18 million.
What's so interesting to me on the corn import is the major importer is Egypt, and they are importing 1.48, like almost 40%. 1.48. So what that is telling me is this: can we do a research to know what does Egypt really use corn for? Maybe we can begin to also produce the corn into a secondary product that we can ship, given the fact that government say we should not ship raw corn. Maybe to create some job locally. Maybe those are the things we should be looking at. And that's what we call this AFCFTA market intelligence. We call it AFCFTA market intelligence because it gives you an insight into what is possible based on what is currently happening on the African continent. How can one country be importing, I need to check this myself, $1.448 billion of corn in one country in Africa, taking up 40%? And Nigeria is one of the major producers of corn in the world. But we are not exporting because of cost is not allowed for export. Now, look at another issue that we might have. And I think the government needs to address this. Some years back, a company in Nigeria imported corn of about a shipload of corn. And there was an uproar as usual. Uproar! No, we cannot allow it. We no go green, we no go green. Why? How will you import shipload of corn into Nigeria when we produce corn? Is it that we want to kill local farmers? But we'll check up. The people defended themselves before the National Assembly and said, corn production in Nigeria is costing 110,000 naira per metric ton. This was 2-3 years ago. 110,000 naira per metric ton. The corn being imported, the landed cost is 40,000 naira per metric ton. So the question is, if India is able to produce corn effectively, such that they import corn, we import corn from them, and when it's still landed, it's cheaper, less than about 30 something to 40% of the amount that we produce locally. That means something is wrong with our production. Maybe yield per hectare, cost of production, and a number of other factors that must be considered. So these are things I think government must look at so that we can begin to consider corn for export. But I think we should check. Now, I noticed something again. It's not only Egypt that is importing it. Most of the companies importing are North African countries, the people inside desert. So there's something, just the way where there was a product also they were importing the other time that we noticed that, and it was only mainly from the antibiotics. Yes, antibiotics. Yes. Mainly from the desert.
I'm having a feeling they do a lot of corn syrup.
Corn syrup? Okay, we can check up. But I'm talking about, because these are intelligent. We are talking about that. If they are doing a lot of import of corn, Algeria, Morocco, and Egypt. Now, Egypt 39, Morocco 11, that's 50%. Plus 17, 60, almost 70% of corn import into Africa is from North Africa. That for me is instructive. That's what we call this session AFCFTA Market Intelligence. We need to ask the question, what exactly are they using this corn for? What exactly are they using the corn for? Can we begin to see, if for example you said corn syrup, maybe we can ask ourselves, what are the secondary products? What are the secondary products that we can ship to Morocco, that we can ship to Algeria, that we can ship to Egypt, that will probably be able to help us to take advantage of that market? And I'm thinking because we are not allowing the raw export of corn. But this is a food for thought for those that are listening to us on this show today. We're rounding off now. This is another episode of Import Export Platform, Facebook Live from Think Better Academy. Remember, this program is on our YouTube channel, Think Better TV. Kindly share the video, drop your comment, subscribe for our channel, and please remember to click on the notification bell. My name is Dela Imiba, and you?
Kelly Bafwa.
See you next week, and bye for now.